Welcome back, everybody, to One Rental at a Time. I'm your host, Adrian Hernandez. I'm just kidding. As you all know, Zuber and I switch it up every now and then, and I get to be in the seat of Zuber, and I get to ask Zuber some questions. And this has been on my mind last couple of weeks because I've been getting some questions from agents, from investors, and I thought, what better person to ask than the one and only Mr. Michael Zuber himself. So Zuber, welcome to your show.
I appreciate it. I love it when the guests turn the tables and ask me questions. This is really fun for me. So I look forward to seeing where we're going.
It's a little nerve-wracking on my side. It's like, you can't mess up. You can't mess up. All right, let's jump into it. So it's wrapping up the end of the year. Thanksgiving is it next week?
It is. Next week.
All right, Thanksgiving next week. Zuber, what do we do if this year was this year? What can we do to build some momentum going into the next year? What are some things that Michael Zuber does in the month of November and December to get him ready?
I think there's a couple of things I would tell people in the mortgage and real estate industry, because again, it was another tough year. And I would argue that it was the toughest year yet. I would remind you that if you survived this year, that you're very likely going to thrive the next decade. A couple of things are certain. Maybe just mathematically certain. Your competition is at least in half, right? You survived. Another peer of yours didn't. And in the mortgage business, I hear it's as high as 60% that didn't survive. Wow. So first off, don't beat yourself up too bad, right? Don't take the negative self-talk. You made it through. It was rough. It was worse than expected. Whatever. You lost, like if you're a flipper, you lost some money, but you're still here. You're still fighting. You're still surviving. So know that this will likely be the hardest year of your career. And I mean that. I think 2025 will go down as the bottom, right? And specifically, I think August was the transaction bottom. And so far, that call looks to be amazingly correct. And again, even NARS says that transactions will be up 15% next year. So again, let's say NAR's high. Let's say it's only up 10% next year. But if transactions are up 10%, but half the competition's gone, guess what? Everybody eats. So 2026 will be better. That said, I think you bring up a point you can't miss. If you had a rough 25, you don't deserve squat. You don't deserve taking a vacation. You don't deserve taking it easy in the last 6 weeks. You got to get your ass out there and hump it hard, because you need to make sure you start the year with your ass on fire. And the only way to do that is to bust your ass during this next 6 weeks where most people are going to go easy. So I'm talking to you business owners, you brokers, you agents, whoever it is. If you had a rough year, you don't deserve shit. Take that vacation next summer or next year. You don't deserve it. It was a shit year. So doesn't mean get to work, right? Don't stop. Double down, triple down. Whatever your metrics are, do more.
So good.
Because again, if you do that and 2026 is like I think it is, there's a very good chance that some of you have your best financial year ever in 2026 because transactions are up 10 to 15% and half the competition is gone. But it won't happen unless you double down now.
So good. So good. Say it louder for those in the back.
Get to work.
I absolutely love it. And so spot on. I think the biggest thing I love about that is you don't get a reward. You're not buying yourself a car. It's all going to wait. And if for anybody that does, I just want you to know, based on experience, you will take what could be a very good year for you and turn it into a bad year because you went in with too much debt or too much, not enough time. You decided to start in February or March because you wanted to go skiing in January.
Amen. No, this is, again, I want to pat you on the back and kick you in the ass, right? Congratulations for surviving. It was rough and tough. Not everybody did, but it's time to get to work. Don't stop messing around.
Amen. Amen. And so for those investors that like they went into this year, they were, I'm buying property. I'm taking the advice. I made my buy box, but I couldn't find anything. Not only could I not find anything, I couldn't even buy anything.
Mhm.
Zuber, I need to buy my first rental in 2026. What do I do starting today?
Well, the first good news is you're not done with 2025 yet. I've told all of you that I've done 60% of my transactions between Halloween and January 1st.
Hmm.
That's because, again, a lot of investors take it off. They get distracted. I mean, I've done some of my best deals, Thanksgiving weekend, right? The 4-day Thursday to Sunday. Multiple deals inked that time because everybody's not looking, right? They take their foot off the pedal. Also, don't forget that builders, I'm talking to 3 or 4 builders right now that are talking 15% discounts because they got to move inventory before the end of the year. So again, just because you've been doing the work, buy box discipline, maybe you wrote 50 offers this year and you got nothing. First off, again, congratulations. You're doing the work. Keep going, right? This is a numbers game. And I would tell you, if you're like already given up on not doing a deal in 2025, you're wrong. I think there's a very good chance that in the next 6 weeks you find a motivated seller, you get a seller finance deal, you find somebody desperate to sell, and go make it happen. So again, you got to get your mindset right. Don't let the self-talk of the first 50 going nowhere. Just tell yourself you're 50 steps closer to a yes. That's how I used to cold call 100 people a day before there were dialers. And I just treated it as, well, great. I'm one step closer to yes, one step closer to yes. Sometimes it's yes on number 87. Sometimes it's on number 11. Sometimes it's 103, but it's a numbers game. So, don't whine to me until you've written 100 offers, right? That's my record, 100 offers before I got one.
So good. I love that because so many people go into it's over. That's it.
They've already
Thank
defeated
this year. I got no choice but to start in January.
No, not
And
wrong mindset. Absolutely
that
wrong.
that statement right there is so profound. You guys go back and listen to that again and get to work. Right now is the best time to write offers. You are correct.
Absolutely.
I was running a marketing report yesterday, and the amount of competition that is dropping off right now it's insane, which is great. I've been waiting for a low cost per click, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
Exactly. Yes.
It's coming. Even some of my guys are like, on the back end, they're like, hey, so we're going into a lower season. We need to cut budget, right? And I'm like, no, we're raising budget. And they're like, but everybody else is. I go, exactly. Everybody else. Well, what's Warren Buffett saying is everybody's running out of the building on fire. Yeah. He's running in. Exactly. And you guys, now is the time to run in.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely.
So good. Last question. Okay, Zuber, I hear what you're saying. I know I need to get to work. I know that I not need to take a break. I get all that, but my mind has I've just been in it. How do I pull myself out?
So this question is probably honestly best for the guy I would go to, which is Adrian Hernandez yourself, right? Exactly. The mind is where you play. But since you've asked me the question, I'll go first. The first thing I think we need to do is and I suffer this, but we need to give ourselves more grace. Again, we go back to question 1. You survived. Most people didn't. Right. You survived. Yes, you're cut up, you're scarred, you're bandaged, it hurt. You took some L's, but you survived. Right? There's some grace in that. The second question, you're an investor. You bought the one rental at a time juice. You've done the work. You got a buy box. You've been doing this 11 months, wrote 50 offers, got nothing to show for it. Feel like a failure. Dude, you're in the top 1% of people I talk to. You are in the top 1%. Most people don't do what you've done. Give yourself some grace. I don't think we give ourselves grace. Right? And I'm not here being, pansy-wansy, all of that, right? It's hard. But I think, like in your 2 examples, you've actually done something. You have done something that most people haven't. You don't have the points on the board, but still, you've done the work. You've got the reps. You're better for it. You know what an average deal is. You survive so you can thrive later. The first thing I would tell you to do is again, if I was those 2 people in your first questions, I would literally write it on the board what you've done and realize that's some cool shit. Most people haven't done that. Most people would have stopped and failed already. You're still fighting. You're still here. That's great. Keep going. That's what I would say.
So freaking good. I absolutely love it. You guys, I got nothing to say to that because that is spot on. All of us are way too hard on ourselves all of us think that Tony says it best. We overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5 years. And that's because we just don't give ourselves enough grace. We're so hard on ourselves. Why didn't this go that way? How about it's a reason why all of that happened, because it's getting you set up for this year to be your biggest year.
Yeah. At the end of the day, folks, realize that if you're in this game of building wealth, I've always told you the first 5 years suck. It's hard, but it's worth it. Keep going. The stories are great. And again, if you're a broker or an agent and you survive 2025, I promise you in a decade, you will be telling war stories about 2025 to the next generation. It's going to be amazing.
I know I am. And I want to point something out real fast. Zuber's hat says everyday wealth builders. There's a key word in there, and it's not wealth, it's every day. Every day. Not 1 year, not 1 month. It's every day. So you guys, let's get after it today.
You're amazing, buddy. Take care.
Thank you, Zuber.